Southern Vangard Radio. This is DJ John Doe, and to the left of me is my man.
I'm over here faded. Cappuccino. It's been a long day, homie.
Good Lord.
I did yard work today.
How are you, my man? You did yard work? So you're ready to drink?
Yeah, I'm ready to drink. Yard work. I slept in, did the yard, ate something, went back to sleep, went and worked on the air conditioner.
That sounds beautiful.
Recording a podcast right now.
That sounds about like my day.
Shit is crazy.
I slept in, late. I slept in late for me. Probably same with you. So you probably didn't really sleep in that late, but it was probably late for you.
Nah, I got in.
What time did you get up?
Probably about, it had to be afternoon. and the only reason I got out,
you, man.
And don't hate me. You gotta love me.
I dislike you.
The only
Just
reason
right
I did the yard when I did was because it wasn't but 84 degrees outside. So I was like, I'm about to jump out there right
you got to do
now.
that. Oh, yeah, you got to do that.
So I went and knocked that shit down, man. And
God, see, man, I cannot, I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know. I'm getting old, I guess. I cannot sleep in.
Dude, I've been experiencing that too. And the only thing you can do about that, man, you just have to lay there. Like fuck the sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you just rest.
Okay.
All right.
Just be in the bed. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't even worry about, oh shit, I wish I was asleep. That's not what's important. What's important is that you're just in the bed. Horizontal position.
I got it.
On a seated Posturepedic, 2 nice down pillows under your neck, and just take that shit in, man. Yeah. Now, see, I do that and eventually doze back off, and then I'd be like, okay, cool. Like when I get back up, I like I really did some shit. But that's the thing, because I've been dealing with that too. Because during the week, my clock go off at 5:30.
Right.
I ain't got to be nowhere until 9. Right. But I need that much start time. You know what I'm saying?
To get myself shit going, right? Yeah.
So, that's why I haven't been sleeping in lately. But I figured it out because we on some new shit. I just gotta lay there. I just lay there.
Right. I actually did that one time. I think I did that Saturday morning, and it worked. Yeah. I think I was in. I couldn't go back to sleep. I was up till like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
2:30 a.m.
Yeah.
And I could not go back to bed. I woke up at like 8:38.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, this is fucked up. I only had 5 hours of sleep. I got shit to do. I'm still in bachelor mode. My family's not here. They're on vacation. What am I gonna do? And I just laid there. And then eventually I did go back to sleep.
Yeah, you had to do that, man. I'm from the South, man. As long as the AC cranking and the sheets are cool and shit, I lay in the motherfucking bed.
Oh yeah,
forever.
Yeah, man.
Forever.
Yeah, that was pretty dope. But then I woke up at 12:30. I was like, God damn, it's 12:30. Like, really? Oh, I got to get up.
Yeah, you know when it's time.
But it worked out.
You know when it's time. Yeah, you know when it's time. Hell yeah, man. I'm glad you had this time for yourself, homie. That shit is needed.
It's been something. It's been something glorious. I think that this has been the best one of these times that I've experienced.
I'm about to get a taste of that this week. I'm looking forward.
Are you really?
Yeah, I am.
When?
Wait. Nah, I work up until Wednesday, and then I don't go back until the 9th.
Oh,
yeah,
that's a good little rip.
Yeah, so
all right.
So yeah, man, I'm looking forward. Yeah, I'm gonna get that in. I'm doing it, man. I'm a represent for the old bastards of the world. Yeah, man. But what are we doing? It's Sunday night.
It's Sunday night.
It's Sunday night.
This is Southern Vangard Radio.
Yeah.
If this is the first time you're tuning in, welcome.
Welcome to you all.
If you've been tuning in for a number of months or years, welcome again.
Yes.
We drop on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Usually Tuesdays is a mix show. All brand new hip hop. We don't get, caught up in all that fucking, spinning the old shit and
we don't get caught up in no bullshit.
No bullshit. It's just we just playing dope.
Let me say something real quick.
All right.
This is not your average podcast, okay?
Thank you.
There's a lot of motherfuckers. You might see some similar logos and shit like that. Don't be fooled by none of that shit. We are the guard.
That's right.
I'm done. Thank you.
That does need to be said.
Yeah, I had to say that.
All right, beautiful. So we drop twice a week. Tuesdays is a mix show, all brand new hip hop. Meeks and I drinking beer and bourbon as we are drinking right now, just talking all kinds of shit and having fun. Thursdays is an interview session with an MC or DJ or producer or A&R or photographer or someone just involved with, this rap shit that we love and we can't let go of. So
we haven't interviewed a groupie yet. I wanna work on making that happen.
We do need to work on that. That is a great idea.
I wanna get somebody tell Superhead to come. Anyway, go ahead, man. I'm there.
You think there's like an underground Superhead?
Oh, I hope not. I bet that motherfucker ugly. Hey man, I hit a bad spot. Okay. let's keep this moving.
Anyway,
man.
So you can check us on about every podcast platform that you can think of: Apple Podcasts, Mixcloud, SoundCloud, Stitcher Radio, got Google Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts. We're everywhere. And we have a number of affiliates that support the cause as well, right?
Yes, atlhiphop.com, IamClassicRawRadio.net, Return of the BoomBap, WRBB, X Squad Radio, X Squad affiliates, all of those in Atlanta. And then we venture out to the West Coast with Soul Public Radio.
Whoo!
SPR.
All right.
Yeah. So what we doing?
So we're going to get into an interview session. This evening, we are talking with a gentleman who has been releasing hip-hop music productions over the past a number of years. Mm-hmm. He has a brand new album that's getting ready to drop, and I have heard 3 songs, I believe, off this album, and the shit is crazy.
Man.
So the homie Jordan Commander reached out.
Jordan, what's up, boy?
And as you know, Jordan has been connecting the dots with a number of folks that we've been interviewing over the past couple of months. Always end up being stellar interviews, and I expect the same out of this.
Absolutely.
So without any further ado, we head north this week to Queens with Reckonize Real.
Reckonize Real, what's up?
Reck Real.
What's up?
What's going on, man?
How are you, dude?
How y'all doing? I'm good, man.
We hanging in there, man. No complaints over here.
We're doing great. We're drinking. Yeah. Are you drinking?
I'm not, man. I actually could use one though, but I had a rough one last night, so I'm at that age where it takes me 2 days to repair it.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Yeah, yes. We do know what you mean. We're of that age as well, I'm guessing.
What's may I ask what's got you in recuperation mode? What were you on last night?
Last night was some whiskey and kind of moved to some beer after that, which was the mistake, But,
there you go.
It is what it is.
Well, see, we chase our bourbon with beer.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we just address the issue head on.
We just be like, fuck it.
That's the way to do it, man. That's the way to do
it. That's crazy. All right, so Reck, man, let's get into it, dude. You got by the time this interview drops, you are on the cusp of dropping a brand new album. I'm just going to let you tee it up, and then we can get into it, man.
Pre-orders right now at realdeff.com.
Yeah, the joint.
REALDEFF.com. Pre-orders now.
Yeah, the joints are crazy.
That's right. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah. You can also get like CD over at fatbeats.com. And,
okay.
Of course, it's live everywhere for the pre-order. But this is my baby. You know what I mean? This is probably one of my, in my opinion, probably some of my best work, and very proud of the album. At the same time, it was something kind of unexpected that came out of nowhere. For those that might not know who I am, last year I did an EP with Guilty Simpson, and we actually winded up having like a bonus track. Something happened where he was on tour. We put the album together and put it out, and then when he got back, we kind of kicked out another track. And I was like, hanging on to it, kind of thinking about what I should do with it. And listening to it, the beat was kind of different than the beats that I had used on that EP. And it kind of spoke for the work that I was doing at that point. So, and he's talking about, you know, his city. And I was just like, you know what? Why don't I just do a whole album with, you know, a ton of people talking about where they're from? And that's kind of where it started. And that's how Bridges and Tunnels came about.
Oh, nice.
Oh, dope. So the name of the new record is Bridges and Tunnels.
Yeah.
That's right.
Talk about some of the features that are on there.
Man, because your features are basically the playlist of our show.
Right, exactly. Right.
Yeah. Let me tell you something, too. Everybody that's on there is like, I feel like we got a nice relationship at this point. I've talked to everybody, and everybody was just mad cool, very interested in the beats that I was sending them, and it just kind of came together very organic, as organic as it can when you're kind of dealing online and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Although, you know, some of the people that are up this way, you know, I kind of linked up with, but
okay, good.
So, you know, we got Guilty Simpson. That's where it kind of started. From there, you know, we got Blue, a track with Blue, which we just dropped a video for. Rasheed Chappell, somebody I've been following, and shout out to him. I actually linked up with him last week in Queens. And The Bad Seed, Nowaah The Flood, Jamal Gasol from upstate New York, Mayhem of EMS, who's a good friend of mine, actually. Teek Hall from Detroit, Paranorm from out of Massachusetts, Junclassic, Vic Monroe from Chicago, Glad2Mecha. That's my homeboy right now. We're probably going to be working on a record, and he's out in Arizona.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the lineup, man.
Nice. Beautiful. Now, you mentioned, you know, putting this project together primarily via the internet, via online. You know, I guess a lot of beats being flied out versus being flown in, things like that.
Right.
How long of a process are we talking here from start to completion?
I would say probably about 5-6 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That's actually very good.
Started around the end of last year. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Shit. I wasn't expecting that. I thought you were about to say 7 years in the making.
Right.
Let me tell you something, man. And it's funny because this is, like I was saying earlier, I feel like it's almost some of my best work, but it also came out differently than anything I've done in the past. Everything in the past has always taken so much longer, so much more thought. You know, I'm a very kind of creative. I'm very into that creative process. So, and that's why I think I always kind of, guide to making an album, although some people say that, the album is not the way to go, but that's just how my mind works. You know what I mean? So even when I'm making beats, a lot of my beats will come out, I don't want to say similar, but it's almost like I'll run sessions and a lot of beats come out and I'm thinking about what can I do with all these? What kind of album can I make with this? Or what artist could I do an album for? You know what I'm saying? I don't really shop beats out or trying to do singles. I'm always kind of thinking on a full project for some reason. It's just kind of how my process is. And then, I'll come up with titles and different ideas and stuff like that. So, like I was saying with this one, it came together very quickly, which again was kind of different than the process on other albums that I've done, where it's taken years, 2-3 years to actually get it out. And
I speak from experience. I mean, I had to wrangle 15 or 16 rappers together to fucking do a record before, and I wanted to kill myself at the end of that process. So kudos to you, man, for getting this shit done so quickly.
That shit can be sketchy. And
I hear you.
Yeah, and seeing that you produced, arranged, and mixed the entire project, if there was one, what would you say was the most difficult spot?
That's a nice way of asking
for
that.
you and putting this together and getting it to the point where it's about to come out?
Well, it's definitely the mixing, because, you're relying on your own ear. I heard my beats a million times of me making it. Then I heard it with, this rapper's vocals over it. Now I have to kind of imagine it a different way. I'm also kind of that producer where when I get the beat, I'll work edits around their vocals, you know what I mean? Or I might change things up to make sure that it kind of fits or at least keeps you entertained. Because I want my beat to also kind of speak for itself. But the mixing, it's like when you're doing the mixing now, I'm really getting into it. I'm EQing things and things are starting to sound different. I'm using different compressors and whatnot. So they start to sound different than what I've been listening to for the past, 3-4 months.
Okay.
And the same thing when it goes to mastering. I mean, that's just kind of part of the process. But, I think that's the only difficult thing is me holding back myself from second guessing myself, if that makes sense.
No, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's kind of something that I did different, because on all my other projects, and if you talk to my partner Def Cuts, he'll be the first one to tell you, like, I'm very anal. I'll go back, change this snare. I need you to change this, or this bass tone doesn't sound like I think it needs to sound like.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm that guy that will send back a track 9 times. Normally the mixing engineer will hate me. And that's why I kind of took it upon myself this round to do it on my own. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And, but at the same time, I didn't question myself too much.
Okay.
And that's it. I just kind of let it be what it is. And I think it was the right choice.
Nice. So by the time you hand it off to Blanca over at Casablanca Studios,
mm-hmm.
are you in relax mode at that point, and you just waiting to get, references back from him? Do you take
mode.
Do you take whatever he sends, or do you critique those as well?
This is the third project that I've worked with Blanca, and he's a master, bro. He is a master at what he does. I feel like, and this is why I continue to work with him, because I had used some people before that, and it's like, still, the master needs, volume raise or this and that. I would second guess it.
Yeah.
I'm always thrown off at how the very first run that he sends me is just perfect. Like I question myself because I don't have anything to come back with. You know what I mean? So I'm like, maybe I need to take more time with this, but it's as soon as he's done with it, I know I can just run with it.
Okay. Good.
That's unusual.
Some comfort right there. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Hey, Reck, how did the joint with the Bad Seed and Nowaah come together? Because you don't see, at least in my opinion, you don't see Nowaah appear very often on things that are kind of outside the camp.
That's right. And I actually reached out to him, and we got to talking, and I sent him a gang of beats, and that was the one he picked out. It just so happened, like, and you'll notice that on the album itself, it's really kind of, one artist for one track. And that's
right.
What I kind of wanted to keep it at, but with that beat, it was like, I sent it out to both of them around the same time. Like, both of them, I sent a batch, you know what I'm saying? And it's funny, that one beat, and I'm very excited for people to hear that song, because, it came out really well. And I wrote the hook on that and stuff like that. So,
okay.
I sent that beat out, and I swear, like, 3 different people actually chose it. You know what I mean? So it got to a part where I was just like, all right, I'm kind of almost limited on beats at this point, because these are the only beats I wanted to use for the project. So I just kind of let them both, kick their verse. They basically did it around the same time. And I didn't even know that they were both going to be on it like that, or, but, Nowaah was cool. I reached out to him, we got to talking, he was feeling the beat, and he was like, I could definitely do something to that. And that was it. And he came back with a fire verse,
cool.
what I mean?
I can't wait to hear that, John.
Cool.
Yeah, that track it's special. You know what I mean?
Now, Rick, I'm sorry, Reck, you currently reside in Queens, New York, correct?
That's right.
What's the climate?
That's right.
What's the climate like from a hip hop perspective right now in Queens?
It's weird, it's not like it used to be, and it's also, let me rephrase that, because there's 2 different sets of people, as we both know. I mean, there's the people that are only listening to mainstream and the radio, and then you got your people that are kind of digging in the underground and listening to what's out there. So when you do look at Queens, there is a lot going on, right? Because I mean, you got not only Action Bronson, you got, Mayhem, Loren, they're killing it. Obviously, they've been for years, but then you also got like up and comers, like I think that kid Daniel Son's from here, isn't he? And Fast Life, like, so there's a lot of people coming up right now that are really kind of repping Queens, you know what I mean? And Queens has always been, to me personally, probably my favorite area for hip hop. You know what I'm saying? I'm a mob beat fanatic, always have been. You know what I mean? So I think it's healthy in that environment. You know what I'm saying? Like we have people representing us in that underground scene, but as far as like mainstream goes, I don't really know who's out there like that right now. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So what's one of your go-to cuts or your sleeper cut on the new record? Reck.
It's a good question, man, because I do kind of love them all individually, and some of them have grown on me as we go. But if I had to pick one, you know, and no disrespect to what anybody did, because every joint on here is just so dope, but
sure,
it would probably either be Epic Tales with Rasheed Chappell, which is a really, really dope track. And there's another one on here that's really dope, No Business Like Dope Business, with Jamal Gasol, which he just kind of like, I sent him this beat, and honestly, I had this beat kind of in mind for him, you know, around the time that I dropped that Guilty project. He also had a gang of projects out, and I started seeing his name coming up on the, you know, same playlist as mine. And so I kind of reached out to him. We got to talking a bit, and I kind of, you know, this is almost the idea of the album too, is that the beats that I had these specific people in mind, or I made it for them after we talked, you know what I mean? So it was almost tailored to them. You know, not in every case, some of the beats I already had, but I did hear that person on this beat, you know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So with him, this beat was that beat, and I sent it to him, and that was the one he was feeling. And, you know, you could tell it's kind of a personal, you know, right from his area, and it's a street track and very dope. So,
nice.
And you were nice enough to send that to us. So if you go back and listen to episode, what is it, Meeks? 214?
214, yeah.
Episode 214, you can hear that track before the album drops.
Because we keep it exclusive over
We keep
there.
it exclusive, though.
Southern Vangard Radio is your home for exclusive content and information. We are the guard.
So,
I'm sorry.
So Reck, one thing I like about you, man, and again, I'll preface this by saying no shots. But one thing that is dope about you is you actually use drums.
We have a drum. We talking to a drum user.
There are drums everywhere when it comes to a Reck Real production, and I fuck with that. And
awesome.
and to that point, on this record with Jamal Gasol, there are drums.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Dig that.
Let's talk about that, man.
Man,
like,
what you like about drums, right? In 2019.
Yeah.
In 2019, where drums are hard to come by. What do you like about them?
Man, I thrive off drums.
It's the foundation, right?
That's listen, I'm glad everybody's not using drums, because now it's going to make me unique.
Right. Exactly.
Because you know that there's many people still looking for drums that want those drums. Because and no disrespect to anybody, I love what everybody's doing. You know what I'm saying? But when I'm just that guy that when I hear that sample riding, I'm waiting for the drums to kick in, or I'm like, oh, let me get my hands on that sample, because I would like, you know, destroy it. But and some people just do it like beautifully, like that Muggs album with Rock Marciano. Rock Marciano himself is, you know, he's a king of using samples that way. But
no doubt.
Drums is just, to me, it's the heart of my beats. You know what I'm saying? Right. I come, like I was saying earlier, I come from that Mobb Deep era. Havoc is has always been my number one producer. You know what I'm saying? That infamous album changed my life when I heard that on my Walkman in gym class. You know what I'm saying? In 1994 or whatever it was, that it changed me.
No doubt.
And that piercing snare, like I live for that sound of a very hard kick and a very, you know, loud snare. Okay. And, you know, more than anything, this is actually kind of the first time where I have a track that doesn't have much drums, like that Gold Coast joint with Blue. There are some subtle drums that I played on that, but you can't really tell. You know what I'm saying? If you wouldn't know that I played them, you would probably think it's part of that sample.
Right.
But, you know, I'm still playing drums on it, but they're just very, very subtle. Okay. But yeah, I live for the drums. And this is actually one of those projects where I feel that I EQ'd them a little bit differently, to where I got a perfect punch and the perfect slap that I wanted. So I hope everybody, can nod their heads to it.
I tell you what, man. I tell you when I woke up and frankly, like really started paying attention to you, man, is when I heard because you do a lot of work with those cats from Boston. Right. The EMS guys.
M-Dot. EMS,
M-Dot and Rev, and like I talked to Rev like on social media regularly. He's always hit me with the joints. And
Rev is the man. He is the man.
Yeah. So big shout out to those guys. But yeah, man, those guys when they've been sending me a number of joints over the past year, and your name kept coming up on all the records that they would send us, and I was just like, I'll be straight up with you, I was not familiar with your EP with your album from 2010. So I was just like, man, who is this guy? Because the record sounds so fucking good. And it's just it was just kind of refreshing, man, because we get so much shit every week, and I just feel like from a production standpoint and just with making music in general right now, people have just gotten fucking lazy. And I just like hearing that someone actually spent time on it and they care about how it sounds. And really at the end of the day, like, especially when it comes to a mix show, and nobody knows this because mix shows don't really exist anymore, at least in our lane.
No doubt.
But like that impacts what joint I'm going to play. Like if the shit is not hitting and doesn't sound good and it doesn't work well on the mix, like it may not even be like the best record or one of the best records that we got that week, but I'm going to play it because it sounds good. It can mix well. The sonics are there, et cetera. So anyway, man, shout out to you for like taking time with the craft, man. And that's back to my no drums comment is, there's a place and time for all that shit. But I just appreciate someone that is, taking the time to do the homework and is like, making good sounding records, basically.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. And you know what? Yeah. While we're on that topic, I just want to kind of give a shout out to all the DJs and everybody out there that's playing my joints. Like, I can't thank you enough. You know what I'm saying? When I hear, that my tracks are getting played by anybody, Southern Vangard, you know what I'm saying? On Live from Headquarters.
Or Premiere and Eclipse have been playing your shit too, man. It's dope.
Yeah. And, you know what I'm saying? DJ Clip, shout to Riz and all them over there. That Rappers Out of Control, playing the joint steady. And, I appreciate that, tenfold. It's amazing. To be able to know that my music is at least resonating with the DJs, because that's where it starts. I mean,
absolutely,
that's where it all started.
Yeah,
it ain't easy either. Let's be clear about one thing. We know this firsthand. It is not easy to get played on Premiere's show. It is not easy to get played on Eclipse's show.
No, we were very lucky.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's all. I would have to say it's all in who you know, actually.
And the record has to be dope.
Yeah, it's got to be some good shit.
Period.
Too.
You got to have the connect.
No doubt.
And the record's got to be dope. So,
hey, Reck, I got in our notes for tonight a couple of times that you actually built your name in the mid 2010s, and I wanted to know or wanted to see if I could get you to talk about like what that journey was like. Like, is that definitely your start? And what journey did you go on in terms of building your name and building your brand and your sound and everything like that?
Right. I mean, the journey, what it is when it's music. I mean, as far as my name, that didn't start till around 2006, 2007. But, music has always been in my life. You know what I'm saying? So I was a kid. My mother was she was like one of those hippies, always playing records. And it was just a mixture of everything in my house, from, that hippie rock, that 60s stuff to, Bob Marley and Sade, you know what I'm saying? So, or Shaka Khan and Anita Baker. Like, I grew up with that stuff. So a lot of the joints, like you hear, especially my earlier stuff, was like all handed down vinyl from my mother, you know what I'm saying? Okay. And then when I was a teenager, I was born in New York, but we actually moved down to Florida when I was a teenager. So I went to school down in Florida. And,
what part of Florida,
Reck? Roots there. I was down in St. Lucie County in Port St. Lucie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And so I was down that way. And, it was great, too, because down there you had nothing but, it was a development town at that point. So you had people from New York and New Jersey down there. So you had all the northern music, but you also had Outkast and all the southern shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so at one point, then I started breaking, and then I started DJing, and then that led to me. I moved back to New York in early 2002, and then like it was around 2005, 2006, I started producing, and that's when I came up with the name. It was funny. I met a kid here, you know what I'm saying, and he was just we were like chilling, and he told me, "We'll Reckonize Real, man." You know what I'm saying? And I was like, "Word." And you know, that's also something you'd always hear in Mobb Deep songs. So to me, I was like, "That's what I'm going with."
Yeah, there you go.
Know what I mean?
Yeah, nice.
So.
And the come up wasn't easy. I mean, it's still not easy. I feel like I'm still coming up. You know, like you said, you know, a lot of people are not familiar with me. And, you know, some people might get a little bit of play on some of these stations and they get this ego. But for me, it's like, I'm just thankful, you know, that these legendary people know who I even am in the first place. But at the same time, it's not like I've met them, you know what I mean? And I would love to, you know what I'm saying? But in the early goings, I was out grinding, you know what I'm saying? I was doing these Illmind black beat battle things. I went and did that like 2-3 times and shot the Illmind. They were cool dudes, you know what I'm saying? And like I met dope producers, and then I did like the I Standards thing, and I was doing all these different beat battles around New York City. And yeah, it was a grind, you know what I'm saying? Then I would meet people, you know what I'm saying? It's a networking thing. So if anything, you're just networking, you're meeting artists trying to come up. I linked up with this kid Element, you know, at the time, you know, shout out to my boy John. He's actually a professional wrestler now, but we did an album in 2009. We put together this album, Verbal Graffiti. It was like that, you know, first thing that we did and I was like, oh my God, very heavy handed on the like mini Rickerton and just, you know, all the stuff that I loved, you know what I mean? But it has a very different sound from where I am now. But that's kind of where I started. You know what I'm saying? Just I had a good little group of friends and people that we were just having fun with it and trying to put out music. And I remember walking into Fat Beats with him, you know what I'm saying? And like trying to get them to carry our CD. And I think they took like 5 of them or something like that. But, you know, and fast forward, you know, now they're distributing the stuff and you know, it's a blessing. Of course, anybody could be bigger. And, you know, there's dreams of me being, you know, much bigger and producing for, you know, bigger artists I love to work with. But,
no doubt.
But I'll take it as it comes, you know what I'm saying, and hope that I get there.
So the grind continues. We got it.
That's right. Always.
No always. Yeah, man.
So you're a friend that's a professional wrestler. Let's not skip over that.
Yeah, because we love wrestling.
We love wrestling.
This is Southern Vanguard. You talking to a guy from Memphis, Tennessee, and Kentucky. So wrestling is everything. What circuit is he in?
It's a good question, man. I don't, you know, unfortunately we don't have, we're not in touch as much. I want to say Capital Wrestling.
Okay.
He goes by the name Deranged. Like, he used to wrestle a long time ago, under the moniker Deranged. I know he had changed his name to Indigo Child or something like that. And now he's, you know, Special K or something was his crew, but I think he's gone back under Deranged. And he's one of those guys, man, just jumping off the top rope, flying all over the ring, you know.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, for the people that don't know, he used to be Element, you know what I'm saying? He was a really, really dope rapper. And, you know, he had even toured like over in France and he was kind of killing it for a little while before he got back into wrestling. Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing.
Damn, this is a thing. Like, I'm looking this up. I mean, this is like a thing.
Yeah,
this is
that's amazing.
Okay.
It sounds like I'm not familiar with that league of wrestling, but it sounds like there's a lot of banquet tables and folding chairs. And
no, it's crazy. It's crazy. He broke his neck. He actually
God damn.
That's why he left it. He was doing it in early 2002. I think he broke his neck when he was doing some crazy flip, like, you know, over somebody, and something went wrong. And so he was out for a while, and that's when he was rapping. You know what I'm saying? And we were grinding and together, you know what I'm saying, in the streets of New York, and he was kind of flying all over, like putting our music out over there and stuff like that. So we have a bunch of videos together out, and that's you know, he's a friend now, you know what I'm saying? But
nice.
But he's doing his thing, man.
Awesome, man. Shouts out to him, man.
Word.
For real.
Yo, what's up with the artwork for the album, man? That shit looks dope. Did you do that too?
I did the one with the bridges, and you know, the other one was it was my idea as well. So there's two forms of the artwork. One that I went with for the kind of streaming thing because I felt like it was more universal. And that's the one I completely put that together myself. And it just shows different bridges from some of the cities where the artists are from that are on the album.
Okay.
There's another version, which will be the physical copy, which actually is, it's kind of like a drawing. Well, it looks like a drawing, really, of an oil painting. But yeah, that's another one that I came up with the idea and all the pieces for it, and kind of just had, a homie that I know that does design to help me put it together. But at the end of the day, they were all kind of my design ideas. Yeah.
Nice.
Gotcha.
All right.
Yeah, the joint that I saw on your I guess it's you in the middle, and then there are some things like that's dope, man. So that's going to be on the physicals.
Yeah. That's going to be on the physical copy. Yeah.
Okay.
That's going to be the CD. So, that's going to be getting shared all over the place. Everybody's going to see it. And, of course you could download it, for those of us who love to have their files on their computer and put the artwork in there, they can of course download it offline. But, on the streaming sites and stuff, I went with something else. And it's a funny story because, I was showing it to my wife. My wife's Korean, by the way. And, she didn't understand what the other one meant with me in the middle. She's like, I don't get it. Is that you? Like, what's going on? Is that cop? And I was like, and then I showed the other one. She's like, oh, I get that. It's like different bridges from around the country. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to use this one for kind of putting it out on the mass site. So maybe it resonates more with people who might not be so into the underground, artwork style.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay. All right.
Makes sense.
All right.
For sure.
Cool, man. All right. Beautiful.
For sure.
So Reck, I guess where can they find this joint? I mean, to that point, it's going to be on all the streaming sites, but what's the best way for folks to get, money into your hand when it comes to a product?
When in doubt, it's always, realdeff.com. So RealDeff.com. That is the spot to go to. Because, if you're not going to buy there, I also always put my links up so you can go to iTunes or wherever else your, place of pleasure is to go listen to your music.
Yeah. And you can get the back catalog there as well, right? You can get Dopamine there. You can get the shit you did with Guilty, the shit you did with MOCA on RealDeff.com as well, right?
That's right. It's all there in one spot.
Hey, I know he's trying to wrap it up, but I got to, because you just mentioned MOCA. What was it like working with MOCA Only?
Holy shit. Let me tell you something. I have never dealt with somebody so, I want to say professional, but he's a pro. He's not even a professional. He's a pro. And he was it was smooth sailing, man. We talked on the phone. We were talking by email and whatnot. Obviously, he's in Canada. I was thinking about flying up, but I couldn't get up at that time because it was my daughter's birthday. It was just tough. But, he did it again. He did a track, so those 7 tracks were done in 7 days. He did a track a day. It's like I would send him beats. He'd be like, I like this one. Boom. Next day I get the vocals. He's like, all right, you know what? And I'm sending him beats along the way and making new shit for him.
Yeah.
And he was like, yo, I definitely fuck with that. Send me a loop of it or a completed version. And boom, next day I have vocals. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it worked. I mean, for 1 week, and it was done. And, we didn't even plan on doing that.
Wow.
We were only talking about doing a couple of joints together and it just came together like that,
Wow.
what I mean? So,
okay.
So yeah, he's a pro, man. So
Glad
shout out to
that.
Moka Only, man. He's hardest working man. You know what I mean? That guy did 12 albums in 2016, an album for each month, which is just insane.
That guy's crazy. I mean, he's 25 years.
Know about him? Go check him.
Yeah, he's 25 years into this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yes,
and still going.
Right.
Yeah, still going strong.
Veteran, still pumping out.
Yeah,
man. Shouts out to him.
That shit's crazy.
Well, Reck, you got anything else you want to get off your chest, man? We like to, at this point in the interview, we like to give people the floor and just kind of let them spaz out a little bit, man. Is there anything you'd like to say or get off your chest or make people aware of? The floor is yours.
Keep an open ear, man. Always, I know that we're at different times and, our attention spans are short. We might only listen to an intro and not get past that, but keep going. You know what I'm saying? We got to get back that kind of digger mentality because the good music is out there. It's all over the place. I mean, 2018, in my opinion, was one of the most amazing years in hip hop in so long. And it's sad that so many people don't know that. You know what I mean? They only know a fraction of what's going on. So keep an open ear. You know what I'm saying? Listen to to your friend that's telling you I make music, and you're like, yeah, whatever, like brushing it off, and you're not listening to their shit. Support them, support your friends, man, support your family, support these independent artists, because we're grinding, man. We're putting everything we have into this to just have somebody else hear what we have to say. From my point, I don't use words, I use my music. But if you're listening to that and you're feeling what you're hearing, then you're like family. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you. And, just everybody's got to keep an open ear and let the music speak to them.
And there it is.
All right. Beautiful.
Absolutely.
All right, Reck, thank you, brother. We appreciate you, man.
For sure.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate
Thanks
you.
for making the time for us, man. For real.
Good luck with the new record, and we look forward to seeing what else you got in store for us here in 2019.
Yeah, man, we're gonna be playing joints. So
there's a lot. There's about 9 projecks.
Shit,
that I got going on. So there's a lot of shit that's going to be dropping after this. I ain't slowing down anytime soon.
Okay. Keep us posted, man, for sure.
All right,
we got
beautiful.
You.
Reckonize Real, y'all.
All right,
thank you, brother.
Peace.
Like real. Peace.
All right.
All right, there you go. Bridges and Tunnels drops July 19th on Real Deff Music Group. CD and vinyl at Real Deff. That's with 2 Fs. RealDeff.com.
Yeah.
You can also get the shit through Fat Beats. And go back to episode.
I wanted to ask him about that. You think he got a distro deal?
Yeah, that's what it says.
Distro through Fat Beats?
Yeah, it's dope. So it's gonna be everywhere.
Distro through Fat Beats in 2019.
Yeah, that's ill, right? It's just so crazy.
Crazy.
That shit is crazy.
You gotta love it, man.
So go back to episode 214. You can hear an exclusive off this record.
No doubt.
The Jamal Gasol joint. We're gonna play that blue joint too as well. And man, it's Smithsonian grade.
Twice a week meets twice a week dough.
Southern Vangard Radio.
South in your motherfucking mouth. DJ John Doe, Cappuccino Meeks. We are the guard. Peace, y'all.